Angela Wells is beyond any help now.
There is still a way we could help her.
What do you mean?
Kill her.
I'm authorizing shoot to kill. I want to speak to the Home Secretary now.
Get him inside! Get him inside!
Forgive me, Harry.
He's tachycardic. His systolic's now 70.
Where the hell is he bleeding from?
His heart rate's dropping.
I think we're losing him.
I can't find the bleed.
Suction.
Got it. Right, clamping the artery.
He's arrested.
Stand by for internal defib. 50 joules.
Charging.
Stand clear.
Jakarta is coming!
Still VF. Increase to 75.
Charging.
Stand clear.
We're dreaming, Daddy. Are we in this dream together?
We'll always be together.
Is Mummy coming home? Where's my mummy?
No, Mum's not coming home.
Without question, a terrorist attack. The emergency service... Oh my God! There's just been another huge blast. As we speak, another explosion has
Is
blocked
Mummy
the...
coming home? Where's my mummy?
Keep us safe. Promise me you will.
Explosions are imminent. Experts are already saying that the scale of damage will have an enormous impact on the supply of fuel and energy to homes and businesses throughout Britain.
Interpol and the United Kingdom's intelligence service MI6 have joined forces to apprehend an Al-Qaeda terrorist cell based in Holland. The cell is believed to be behind the recent attacks on Britain's fuel supplies, which has left the country.
But the question has to be asked, is Britain now becoming totally ungovernable?
Well, we're fighting a war on terror, and we are losing that war because the government mishandled the crisis, and six saying they would like the Prime Minister to resign. The push-through legislation that is about a new breed of terror to major fuel depots. We're under attack.
Of an increase in prices? I mean, how?
Terrorist attacks.
Totally ungovernable.
Is Mummy coming home? Where's my mummy?
I don't believe it. Adam's back. Miss me?
No, we hardly noticed your absence.
Good to see you, Adam. And you. We going to do this? This story the press have picked up on Get Ready Britain, Jakarta's coming. It hasn't gone away.
No, the phrase started appearing about 3 weeks ago on the internet and in papers in the Arab world, and now it's everywhere.
It's got to be connected to the bombings of the fuel depots.
Timing would suggest so. It's also the same threat that was sent to the Prime Minister's son, Rowan.
While he's at university, Rowan's vulnerable. If anything happens to him, we'll lose the Prime Minister's leadership at the most critical moment. Joe stays with him on close protection.
Yep.
Sure.
Adam.
Are you sure you should be back at work? 4 weeks away, and look at the mess you get into.
Grim warning about what it will really be like when fuel supplies do run out.
What's your take on it?
Al-Qaeda.
Okay.
What? You think it could be something different?
No.
Come on.
It's just... It's not standard Al-Qaeda. Threats to the Prime Minister's son, Jakarta's coming. Strikes a discordant note.
The agonizing death of businessman Terry Miles has led to speculation within the intelligence services that biological warfare has already begun on mainland Britain.
You can drop the death stare. Didn't come from us.
Has it begun?
We're waiting for the autopsy results. In the meantime, we're re-interrogating everyone picked up after the fuel attacks and also using back channels to rule out any possible foreign state involvement. If it's biological, there'll be footprints.
They've also picked up on this Jakarta is coming threat. It's taking on a life of its own. It's even appearing on walls. What's that about?
It's about adding to the panic, which isn't hard when you consider that every single person with a cough or aching joints...
Most of the population at this time of year.
Yeah, is descending on their local hospital, scared out of their wits that they're going to die in agony, weeping blood.
Press are also loving that little detail.
Well, they shouldn't be. They're doing the terrorists' job for them. Now, I've gone on about this till I'm blue in the face, but they just keep whipping up the panic. The hospitals are close to collapse.
Maybe your people should improve their media management skills.
I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to the mouth of the sewer and talk to Paul Millington.
Harry, good to see you.
And you? Don't get up. How's the life of a media mogul? Monopolies Commission treating you well?
Well, Harry, I can't complain.
I don't think you can after they threw in a TV channel to go with the newspaper you were acquiring. You know that only 3 people have developed this bloody eye syndrome?
So far.
And yet hundreds will die because the panic is putting such pressure on health resources.
The public has a right to be informed about the nature of the threat.
But we don't want to make the situation worse, do we?
We're not the government's propaganda arm, Harry.
Well, I'm not asking you to mislead people. I'm simply asking for a little restraint.
Well, these are editorial decisions. I don't interfere with those.
I'm sorry, that's the sound of incredulous laughter being stifled.
Unless I see a very good reason for doing so.
And avoiding mass psychosis isn't a very good reason.
You show me some evidence that we're not under attack from biological weapons, and I'll pass it on to my editors. Do you want some tea?
No. How the hell did they poison them?
Each of the victims had a tiny puncture mark on the lower half of their body. It's consistent with a passerby inflicting the wound.
I wouldn't normally say that was good news, but at least it's not biological warfare.
Smart terrorism, though. They knew it would cause mayhem.
Shame then that the press decided to help them achieve their goals. We need to make sure that they plaster this news all over their front pages. Simple and stark, though, please. Doctors rule out biological warfare.
Adam, you've been up most of the night.
I know. Zach, wait. Can you make sure that they also check the victims from the tube stations?
It's being done.
Then home.
All right.
The Prime Minister is working round the clock to introduce measures which will ensure that we defeat the terrorists who are attacking us. I would ask for greater understanding.
For the difficult situation that we face, both as a government and as a nation. I would just like to add that our latest intelligence is strongly suggesting that this is not biological warfare.
So I would urge people to remain calm.
Yep. The anti-terror bill has been defeated in the Commons, Adam.
Half the government's MPs joined the opposition.
Well, that was to be expected. They was full of holes.
The Home Secretary is demanding interagency cooperation to get to the bottom of the recent attacks.
We're to host the meetings here at Thames House.
Put padlocks on all the computers and hide the stationery.
Adam, it's Ruth.
Ruth wouldn't allow me to make this call unless I added... She thinks it's time you found someone permanent for Wes.
I haven't got time to go looking.
No, I'll do it, Adam. Leave it with me. Well, as long as you trust me to get the right person.
I trust you.
Get some rest.
Thanks.
What's Millington up to? Look at the front pages of most of the red tops. I mean this one. Oh, some blonde I've never even heard of is having her breasts shrunk, enlarged, or retreaded, I don't know which. Meanwhile, the news that we're not facing biological warfare is buried on page 5. They could have stopped the panic and saved lives. Bloody Millington. He said if I gave him evidence, well, I gave it to him.
Well, he's certainly not looking for a peerage.
We better go down there. They'll be here.
Hello, stranger.
I was just calling to see if a check had cleared.
Sorry, no. The Prime Minister is under siege. Nothing must happen to his son or he could break completely. Guard him closely.
Right, I understand. Okay, I'll call again tomorrow. Thank you.
No joy.
Bloody Banks.
Look, it's strange. I got the funny message again.
Tell you're a detective, right?
Who's that?
That is Michael Collingwood from MI6.
Ah, yes, your counterpart. I'll say one thing for him, he can wear a suit.
Straight back. Something common to men of his class.
Who's that with him?
I don't recognize her.
Well, she'll get the attention of the red-blooded males.
Michael.
Harry.
And this is?
Rosalind Myers. Pleased to meet you.
That's Juliet Shaw.
Hello.
This cannot go on. We're getting hit after hit.
We've had some considerable successes. Most of those involved in the attacks on the fuel depots have been detained.
You, on the other hand, have had far less success your end, Home Secretary.
If you're referring to the anti-terror legislation, Michael, I sweated blood
This
to
wasn't
get
an
that
excuse.
through.
You see, you've got problems with your backbenchers, you've got problems with Lords, problems with the opposition, problems in Cabinet, problems with the civil liberties lobby. This bill was supposed to help us fight fire with fire.
Sorry, but democracy can be bloody awkward sometimes.
Yes, it can.
Okay. Let's not waste time with recriminations.
You see, the problem
Don't
is...
interrupt me, please. Our task here is to plan interagency
You
coordination.
see, the problem is we cannot defend the country unless you give us the weapons to do so.
Are you listening to me? Have you listened to a word I've just said?
Yes, I have, and I'm hearing the same old rubbish.
That is enough.
I don't give a damn what you think of me. But I hold one of the 3 great offices of state, and you will treat it with respect.
Hasn't the Prime Minister's special policy advisor been doing some behind-the-scenes work with the more moderate opponents of the anti-terror bill?
Yes, with only a couple of minor amendments, Jerry Horton thinks we can get through the measures we need.
The cell that attacked the oil depot and the gas pipeline, they came from Holland. Don't we have any intelligence on them?
Chaff. Nothing significant.
I want the mastermind of these attacks, and I want it dealt with. And that includes the threat to the Prime Minister's son.
How's the Prime Minister really coping?
The Cabinet's restless. Jerry Houghton's really the only one who's keeping him going right now.
And you?
But I wasn't there from the beginning like Houghton was. Collingwood's a difficult bastard.
He's an old warrior. I doubt if he voted for you, but his manner's always been somewhat abrasive.
I'm relying on you, Harry. There are voices in Cabinet urging the PM to incautious measures. At the moment, Houghton is a voice of reason, and there aren't many of those about. One more terror attack, and he'll be drowned out completely.
Morning. Hello, Mr. Houghton.
The death of the MP Jerry Houghton may have been linked to images found on his computer. Police officers are refusing to confirm an investigation into a paedophile ring, but did confirm that Mr. Houghton was recently released on police bail after being questioned about images found on the hard disk of his computer.
He was my godfather.
It's horrible.
It doesn't make sense. Jerry wasn't a paedophile. You know, I've known him my whole life, and he was not a paedophile. I just don't understand why nobody's getting up and saying something, you know? My dad could go on the television and just tell everyone it's not true, and then it'd be fine. I don't understand what's going on at all with everything.
Harry,
sorry to interrupt, but this has just come in. Six had high-grade intelligence on the Rotterdam cell. Knew it was planning a hit soon, knew it was likely to be Britain. It even mentioned the fuel depot as a possible location. But it was marked as low priority.
Who received this information?
Came over from the Dutch to a desk officer at 6. She didn't sit on it. It went straight to Michael Collingwood.
Chaff, insignificant. You heard him. He's a bloody liar covering his mistakes.
There's something else that's a little strange. The Latin American specialists have seen Jakarta is coming before.
Latin American?
Yeah, Ja viene Jakarta, used in Chile in the 1970s to warn that a great massacre was coming.
What's that got to do with an Al-Qaeda bomb attack in Britain?
Michael Collingwood was based in Latin America around the same time. It could be that the similarity in phraseology is a coincidence, but that's highly unlikely.
So, we had intel on the Al-Qaeda bomb attack, but did nothing, turned away. And somebody is supplying Al-Qaeda with a highly sophisticated poison.
Add that to the threats against Rowan and now Houghton's death. Somebody is running a parallel agenda.
Somebody?
Somebody being Michael Collingwood.
Except why?
I don't know, but from now on we keep Collingwood and his team under tight surveillance.
I'll work on Roz.
Keep her where we can see her. We'll invite her to some ad hoc meetings on the grid to make inter-agency cooperation more...
Proactive?
Exactly, proactive.
If Collingwood and his MI6 boys are helping Al-Qaeda, we need to find out the reason.
Tread carefully. MI6 don't take prisoners.
Miss Myers, we've not been properly introduced. Adam Carter.
Call Roz.
Here's your briefing.
So, how's the state of Denmark?
Pretty rotten, as usual. We're trying to find out if the French Secret Service had anything to do with Jerry Houghton's death.
Sorry, but I'm not going to take a swing at that one.
Really? Well, that's a shame. It could be a straight ball disguised as a curveball.
Yeah, or it could be out of bollocks, and I know which one I favour. You look very well for a man who's just taken a high-velocity bullet.
And you look very well for a woman who's just uncovered a nest of informers in Baghdad.
Good. We both look well.
Listen, do you want to go for some dinner tonight?
You don't waste your time, do you?
Well, you're a new kid on the block. We're bound to be intrigued by your reputation.
Or you could just be trying to get me into bed.
No, I'd have gone for the more direct approach. I think I'd be just as satisfied getting into your address book.
Oh, I wouldn't be too sure of that.
Seriously. The Arab world is my area. We should get together, see if we have any mutual acquaintances.
Okay. Find a restaurant.
There are circumstances when a country reaches a critical breakdown point. This point is approached and the economy is screaming when the center ground is disappearing. And in concrete terms, when there is a significant external threat which requires a more energetic response from the security services. Well, we believe that 3 major terror attacks by the IRA would provoke such a breakdown and require a different kind of government.
He made that speech at the Center for Freedom Studies after the breakdown of the first IRA ceasefire.
In 1996. So we're one attack away from a breakdown?
Well, there shouldn't be another one. We've mopped up most of Al-Qaeda's logistical units.
What if Collingwood were to stage the last attack himself?
No, that's not possible.
This reference to center ground.
What about it?
Jerry Houghton was the voice of compromise on the anti-terror bill. Collingwood knows that in a time of chaos, the voice of compromise must be extinguished. I think he killed Jerry Houghton. I think he wants the center ground to disappear.
We've been snooping around Six's central postbox. What you got in?
Impossible, I'm afraid. What we have done is profile the most active delivery men. Michael Collingwood's team have been very busy.
Good. Step up surveillance on them. Collingwood and Myers won't be the ones getting their hands dirty.
Sure.
We've got to drop our board.
E01, I need you to send over the ID as soon as you can.
Copy that.
Colin, stay on this guy. I need you to keep a close eye on him.
Sure.
On all of the coconut soup.
Thank you, sir.
Do you think the attacks are finished?
Hard to say. Al-Qaeda like to hit twice. They've done so.
There was a third attack.
It would put the country under intolerable pressure.
I tell you what concerns us. The way the gas companies hiked the prices after the attack on the pipeline.
You know who my father is?
Who?
It wasn't a question, Adam. You know who my father is.
Now you mention it.
Yes. Sir Jocelyn Myers, yes. Ex-ambassador to Russia, yes. On the board of Gazstream. But you'll have to ask him about price increases.
You see, that's disappointing because I know it's considered cool to denigrate the little foibles in one's profession, but I love my job. And show and tell's one of my favourite games.
Well, you should practice more. Because you're rubbish at it.
Sorry. It's the babysitter. I'm going to have to...
Never heard Harry Pierce called that before.
Hello? Yeah, is he okay?
Where's Colin?
He's got a pass for the day. He's on surveillance, watching one of Collingwood's men.
Enthusiastic about goal celebration.
Zebra 3.
Hello, Big Bird.
It's tricky, this 5 across.
That's strange.
It's giving them access to flight numbers and airlines. Pretty sophisticated kit.
Oh, my God. They're mapping the heavens. Malcolm, I've hacked into their computer and you're not going to believe this. They're focusing on 2 flights in particular, simulating taking them off their normal flight path. It's a dress rehearsal for crashing 2 passenger planes into each other over London. Malcolm, are you still there?
Zebra 3. Colin, can you hear me?
What's wrong?
Nothing. Just lost Colin. Comms are down.
Alpha 1, what's your status? This is Zebra 3.
Hello, Zebra 3.
Spying on your own side. Well, what happens now, Colin, is that we're going to have to let our boss have a quick chat with you.
Well, he should really speak to my boss. Keen.
What?
Enthusiastic about goal celebration. It's Robbie Keane. Is he enthusiastic? Keen. I must tell Malcolm.
Who's Malcolm? Is that your boyfriend?
No.
You do seem quite on edge, Colin. Pull over, Lee. Bursting for a piss. I've been sat in that car all afternoon. Colin, get out of the car. Stretch your legs a bit.
Please, just get your boss to speak to mine.
Come on, Colin. Get out of the car.
You look a bit lost. It's enough running for today.
Drop these, Colin.
I'm not strong enough to fight you. I was never any good at this running and jumping thing. I was
To be honest, I'm not really meant to be out in the field. It's just that we're very overstretched. So, just get on with whatever it is you're going to do to me, because I might be smaller and weaker than you, but you can hurt me, but you won't humiliate me.
Problem is, Colin, the world is not made for small and weak people any longer.
Please.
If you struggle, it'll hurt more, okay? You're doing really well. You're doing really well.
He always wants me to read a chapter of his book.
I don't understand. How could somebody do that to Colin?
Nobody would have dared do this without high-level authorization. They're telling us they'll stop at nothing.
They. We keep talking about they. Who's they?
We believe there's a conspiracy underway, which is using the terrorist onslaught as a cover for an attack on the government. So, Michael Collingwood, certainly. Perhaps Millington. He's been putting his press at their disposal.
They ignored intelligence about terror attacks, spread the panic, and took out the Prime Minister's closest ally, who was about to secure a deal on an important bill regarding homeland security.
And now they've killed one of us. From now on, only routine business on the grid. Everyone needs to check their personal security. And Zaf, you must warn Joe immediately.
They want us to know how confident they are.
What are we going to do now?
There's not much we can do at the moment.
Because he wasn't important enough.
We could take out one of theirs in return, but what would that get us?
Satisfaction.
Our satisfaction will come from defeating their conspiracy.
Oh, shut up, you pompous old fool! He wasn't just some geek who did crossword puzzles. He was my bloody best friend.
Malcolm. What do you think they want us to do next?
I don't know.
Well, I do. They've done this deliberately. They're expecting us to go looking for revenge and take our eye off the ball. But we're not going to play by the rules that they set.
It isn't a game.
Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is. It's a big, elaborate game. And the question we always have to ask ourselves is, what do they want us to do? How do they want us to react? What do we do, Malcolm?
The opposite.
That's right. We have to carry on as if the hanging was a suicide, which the police report will inevitably say it was. They'll know we know. But we'll smile at them. And we'll carry on smiling at them. And if you can't deal with that, then you're no good to me. So smile.
Adam.
I can't.
Adam.
I can't.
Smile.
Would you have smiled at your wife's killers?
Yes. I would have smiled at Fiona's killers if it had been necessary.
Yes, I believe you would.
It's good. Work on it. All right, Colin found something out in his van. We need to know what it was.
What's going on?
This way!
What's going on? You are not...
I'm an officer of the British Security Services. I've been working undercover to protect you.
Where's my detective?
I've no idea.
Who are those people back there?
Possibly officers of the British Security Services.
What is going on?
There's a plot against the government. It's being fought on several fronts. You're one of them.
What do they want from me?
We're working on that.
Where are you taking me now?
Somewhere safe. Look, I don't want you to use your phone. So we're going somewhere where we can't be traced.
Okay, but I can call my dad.
No non-essential communications.
He's the Prime Minister.
Look, I'm sorry. Right now, that doesn't guarantee anything, Rowan.
Joe, she's found a bolt hole. That's all we know.
Roz, dinner? I tell you what, I've got a better idea. Why don't you come over to mine? No, I'll make sure he's asleep. Okay, great. I'll see you then. Bye. Malcolm, email me Joe's location details, would you? Right.
Prime Minister issued a statement dismissing the rumours about biological warfare that some predict.
Hi.
Hello.
Come in.
How did you get into this?
Into what?
Your job?
I was recruited.
No, but why did you want to do it?
It was exciting, I suppose. I like the thought of serving my country.
Because that way is our country. You know, is it the people trying to kill me, the people plotting against my dad?
Well, maybe it's more of a personal thing then. I don't know, it's home. Fulfilling your promise, having certain freedoms and choices.
Except they're being eroded, aren't they? Bit by bit.
Sorry to hear about your officer.
Yeah, it's a shock for everyone. Especially with what's going on right now. Country's in a real mess.
There are people who want change.
It's not our job to change governments.
Who said anything about changing governments? You know what's coming. Climate change, terrorism. Energy shortages that'll make what's just happened look insignificant. There'll be social and economic mayhem. And what will we do about it? Set up a parliamentary commission, call in the ombudsman?
You talk as if you share that view.
No, but I don't think we can close our eyes to the threat. And the people that do hold that view hold it sincerely. They have the country's best interests at heart.
Yeah, well, let's hope so.
Is that your son?
Yeah.
He's sweet.
Some of the time.
You're a good father.
Some of the time.
No, you're a good father. That's a very attractive quality.
Better go and check he's all right.
You still awake?
Yeah.
Can't sleep.
Sorry, it's not exactly 5-star accommodation.
That's not why I can't sleep.
I know. Just try and relax.
Is he okay?
He's fine.
Good. So?
So?
Where's your more direct approach?
I can't.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't. It's the same perfume.
What?
My wife used to wear that scent.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's just I can't.
No, really.
It's not that I don't want to or
Please,
anything.
Adam,
I'm really
anything like
flattered.
that.
Rod, why don't you stay and have another glass of wine? You don't have to go.
Believe me, Adam, you have nothing to apologise for.
Ros.
Do not move! Do not move! Drop your weapons! Drop your weapons! Stay right where you are! Drop your weapons! Drop your weapons! Drop your weapons!
You should check your sources more carefully. Wrong cottage, boys. Take their car to pieces and then have them brought back to Thames House.
I think we need to talk about Colin.
Since the last time we met, certain very unpleasant facts have come to light. In the early hours of the morning, an attack was launched on a cottage in Kent. The attackers thought that we were holding the Prime Minister's son, Rowan, there.
The original threat to Rowan actually emanated from Michael Collingwood, who we also believe was behind the murder of an MI5 desk officer.
What nonsense is this?
Jakarta is coming, a phrase you picked up in Latin America?
Because, of course, only I have been to Latin America.
The precise details of the cottage, however, came from another source. A source who stole my fingerprints from a restaurant wine glass and then turned up at my flat, fluttering her eyelashes, wearing my dead wife's perfume. Nice touch, by the way.
I've worn that perfume since my 16th birthday.
The location of the decoy cottage was only on my laptop computer. You stole those details and then accepted the get-out clause I gave you.
I'm not going to sit here and listen to this.
Whatever you're planning has got to stop.
I'm planning the security of the nation. Do you want me to stop that?
Bluster might work on the politicians, Michael, but you and I have been in this business for too long.
Okay, we're done here. Interagency collaboration is dead because of your absolutely outrageous suggestions.
Telephone call, sir.
Millington. I understand. Yes, everything's ready at my end. We'll be ready to roll as soon as the news comes in. I'll tell him. Right. Jocelyn, Paul Millington. I've just had a message from Michael Collingwood, who wanted you to know that the trip to Jakarta is now finalized. Last chance to pull out for all of us. Good.
There were people in that room I've worked with for years. They just walked out on me. I can't believe he has such support.
He was never going to admit the man we captured was one of his own men.
No, he just needed to observe protocol for the duration of the meeting.
Spare the blushes and call into his superiors for instructions. That'll be him.
Yes? Right. He wants a meeting with the Home Secretary present.
Collingwood's not there, Mr. Big. He must have called into somebody who got him to arrange this.
Do we go?
Got nothing to lose.
I think I found something, Gov.
We've cross-matched DNA from skin tissue on the backseat to Colin. He was in that car. His fingerprints are virtually seared into it.
Oh, God.
Now, here's the thing. The two men that Colin was watching were Lee Mackenzie and Steve Jensen.
Right.
Mackenzie was captured at the cottage, but the other man we got there wasn't Jensen.
He's still out there somewhere.
Yeah. We found a car pass down the back of the dashboard.
From where?
Southeast Air Traffic Control Center. What if this is the third attack? The third attack that Collingwood knew would send the country over the edge.
Adam and Harry have gone to the meeting with Collingwood.
Hello, Harry. My daughter has greatly enjoyed your hospitality.
The final piece in the jigsaw. Corporate power.
The rules are different now, Harry. They changed the day a British government accepted Guantanamo Bay and admitted the torture chamber as an instrument of state policy.
But that wasn't enough for you.
Britain needs a new kind of leadership.
Sea levels are rising. Oil's running out. Terrorists are going nuclear. Do you really think this current system is capable of dealing with that?
Spare me the four horsemen of the apocalypse. This has nothing to do with national security, nothing to do with Al-Qaeda either. This is a coup d'etat, pure and simple.
Not so simple, actually. The transition will be managed quite carefully.
And I hope that people don't notice the corpses. Victims of the attacks you allowed to happen.
Yes, what's next, Michael? Or hasn't Jakarta arrived yet? The third attack that will bring this country to its knees.
Look, I think all of us around this table have children, even grandchildren. How can we look at what's coming and not tremble for them, not take steps to ensure their safety?
That is no reason to dismantle our democracy.
I wonder why we fetishize democracy so much. It's a system that's a blink in the eye of history.
It's a system which better men than you have died to protect.
Well, I haven't seen anybody taking to the streets to defend it yet. And the argument against civil liberties, it's been fought and lost.
That's not for you to decide.
You're assuming that people will notice the difference. You're assuming that the British people actually care about abstract principles. They'll put up with anything as long as you serve it up with a picture of Will Young in the shower.
Insufferable snob. Pronouncing on the national character while warming your feet at the club.
Since we've dispensed with the niceties of theoretical debate, let me give you an ultimatum. The Prime Minister has a week to accept new terms of government, which will be delivered shortly. During the time we've given you to consider your ever-weakening position, I give you my word there'll be no further incidents, and I expect the same consideration from you.
Agreed.
Adam. It was true about the perfume. I'd never have done anything so vulgar.
Yes, you would.
It was a gift for my birthday.
From Daddy to his little girl, was it?
I knew nothing about the murder of your officer. You have to believe that.
I don't have to believe a single word you tell me. You think they'll stick to it?
Improbable.
Bloody Harry Pierce. This isn't anything to do with his beliefs. He just loves a good fight.
Don't be so sure of that. It frustrates me we can't convince him.
Well, it's too late now. Everything's in place. The escorts know when to disappear.
The escorts? You've just agreed to a week's cessation of hostilities.
It's really of very little consequence.
It is of consequence.
Why?
It's beneath us. It's dishonorable. You gave them your word.
You've let Adam Carter outwit you once already, Rosalind.
Outwit me? That seduction routine was a stupid and amateur plan that underestimated the target and which I warned you was likely to backfire. You overruled me, I got you what you wanted, so don't you blame me if they set a trap for you.
This type of decision is not within my brief. Michael has operational control.
I've checked all new staff for airport control in the last month, and one face jumped out. Jensen's.
Collingwood's man.
Yes. And according to the rota, he's working this afternoon.
This is the third attack, isn't it?
It must be. I'll try and get through to Harry.
Filter in place. Stand by for reroute. Standing by. Reroute complete.
Control, Blue Wing 303 approaching Bobbingdons. Request further clearance.
Blue Wing 303. Right onto heading 130. Descent to 4,000 feet. Radar heading 130.
Control, Eagle 47 on a Wellington 4G departure. Climbing to 1,000 feet. We're 3,000.
What happened to our escort?
Stop the car.
What's going on?
Get out now!
Adam?
Juliet, get out of the car. Get away from the vehicle. Just do it!
Okay, stop the car. Stop the car now, please!
Juliet.
We're getting reports. One of the cars returning from the meeting has been blown up.
Harry?
No news yet.
It's begun.
Radar contact, Eagle 47. Climb and maintain 4,000.
Eagle 47 climbing to 4,000 feet on heading of 050.